Well, as we take a look at our THQ starting grid, James Stewart, as we've talked about, there's Danny Smith, Billy Lanovich, Sean Hamlin, Josh Woods. David Pingree's out there. Brian McGavran, a lot of great riders. Tiger Lacey looking for a possible win here. But I think a lot of guys are going to be looking to see what James Stewart, has he gotten overconfident, or does he just forget about last week and start all over again?
You know, every time James is on the bike, it just looks like he's having a blast out there. And the sign is sideways. These guys got a few seconds before that gate drops. We'll get to see some more of what we saw last week, I have a feeling.
125, heat number 2 is off and running here at Pacific Bell Park in San Francisco. And oh my, deja vu all over again, 2:59. And fellas, a word of advice, don't let him get away.
He's already gone. If you see the way he come off the gate, he just comes off the start and he gets side to side on the bike, makes sure he hooks up. Look at the lead already. I mean, what does that do for you if you're Brian McGavran and he's got a great start? That's good for him, but Stewart's already going the other way.
And the rider on infield, the track, having problems out there. Looks like it was Tiger Lacey that had problems. He's back up and riding right now. But I'll tell you what, if you're Jeremy Albrecht, the tuner for James Stewart, I'm looking for a raise right about now, because that bike, with a good rider on board, is absolutely flying. The Kawasaki is working tonight in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh! 245 goes down. Who's got problems right there on the track. Fortunately, no one else hit him. That's Tommy Harrison out of Simi Valley, California, on board the Suzuki.
Gets a little dicey in the back section, but take a look at everything but dicey right here. Nobody near him. I got an idea, though. He could wheelie that first loop and then jump the last 3. That'd be a faster timing. Surprised he hasn't figured that out yet. He's figured out everything else. And for these guys, they're going over the triple. Stewart's coming the other way, and that just ruined. Right now, they're going, okay, who's going to get second in the main event? They're already thinking there's no way we can keep up with this team.
That's Brian McGavran currently sitting in second, and Josh Woods sitting in third. Woods out of Flint, Michigan, on board the KTM Red Bull KTM racing machine. Looking very good. We've seen some flashes of real promise from this young man. Brian McGavran out of Marietta, California, on board the Suzuki Temecula Motorsports Fox PJ1 Universal Barnard Sons Suzuki, looking good as well. But you make a great point. It's got to be a little bit disheartening knowing how well they're riding full tilt, and they're not within even, what, 100 yards of James Stewart?
Yeah, he's already all the way down the straightaway. They just came out and looked at and heading down the next one. So he's clear out in left field right now. We can actually say that. He's out in left field. Pingree running good. Number 51 coming into the picture right there. You know, we always talk about how funny Travis Preston is.
Yeah. David
Pingree's pretty funny. Got to be the funniest guy in this heat.
Folks, I'll tell you what, if you don't have a subscription to RacerX, get one. It's worth it to read David Pingree's article, Electronic Ping. The kid has some pretty interesting and humorous insight. Billy Lanovich, 132 on board the KTM, is on the move right now. We said early in the show how great his starts have been. And right now, Lanovich is in 7th, so he's going to need to get that KTM just rocking if he wants to get up there. Remember, we started with 20 riders. They're only going 6 laps. The top 9 go to the main event. The other 11 have to go to a very dicey LCQ.
Lanovich, we stay on him. He's got Hamlin right behind him. He's definitely not going to be happy with that start. But, you know, if you look at his lap times, 50 seconds right now. See if he can bring that down a little bit. You know, what matters the most is what you do in the main event. The main thing is getting a decent starting position, and he'll really need to move up 2 or 3 more spots to have any kind of a shot at the whole shot for the main event. But, you know, I saw his mechanic earlier working on the bike a little bit at Billy Lanovich's, and, yeah, hey, how's it going today? He's like, yeah, it could be better. You know, I think they're expecting Billy to come out here after that podium last weekend and really set the world on fire in practice. And just maybe he needs this lousy start to get fired up and go to the main event with some motivation.
Well, another KTM that's certainly on the move right now. The mechanics have done a great job on Josh Woods' bike. He's currently sitting in 2nd place as he passes Brian McGavran. Woods out of Flint, Michigan, on board the KTM Red Bull Racing KTM, looking very good. Not having a lot of problems, and you know, unfortunately, the camera doesn't give you an idea of how deep and treacherous those whoops are, but these guys are absolutely just flying across the top of them.
Yeah, it is. You know, from up here, you look at that stuff and think, yeah, it seems like they could go a little faster than that. And then we were just down there not too long ago, and I cannot believe how big. That's the one big difference in the tracks this year. You take a look at Stewart getting 1 lap to go. These, the whoop sections, the whoops are bigger and further apart. They're more like jumps. So you don't see the guys staying across the tops of them like we've seen for the past few years. These guys that build the tracks are going, you know what, we've done that. Let's do something a little different and challenge these guys some. Stewart, the last lap through here, tried to wheelie 3, like I was saying, messed it up, couldn't do the triple, but he's got a mile lead, so it didn't affect him too much.
Well, I'm just handed a stat by our stage manager, David Stanfield, saying how James Stewart Jr. is doing 2 seconds faster on every lap than the rest of the field, and that's got to be a little bit disheartening to see that happen.
Well, that means that he can get a bad start and probably still come up through the pack and win. He's patient enough now to do that. He doesn't have far to go before we may see a whip. He likes this new bike for the ability to whip it.
And there is your winner in 125, heat number 2. James Stewart picks up yet another victory, sporting the fuchsia and looking awfully good.
You know, he's been holding his stomach a little bit. I wonder if when he made that little mistake there, Lanovich coming across, if he didn't get the handlebars in his stomach a little bit. He kept holding it, and he didn't really do anything too flashy over the finish line, and he seemed in a hurry to get over to the podium. So there's he's doing it again.
We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have official results and our winner interview, as well as Suzuki's on track when we return to Pacific Bell Park in San Francisco, California.
Warner Cable today.
Welcome back to the THQ 125 AMA Supercross Series from Pacific Bell Park in San Francisco, California. Here are our Suzuki Heat 2 official results. James Stewart picks up the victory, followed by Josh Woods, Billy Lanovich, Brian McGavran, and David Pingree rounding out our top 5. Right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele.
I'm standing here with Moto 2 winner James Stewart, who's normally got this big smile on his face, real happy, maybe ready to break out a dance, but James, you're grimacing. What happened? You had a little miscue out there?
Yeah, in the wolf section, I hit neutral and I hurt my ribs really bad. They're really sore, and you know, that heat race sucks. You know, I was just all over the place, but you know, I'm gonna try to come back in the main and put 15 good laps in.
I know that you were concerned a little bit earlier. I was talking to Jabo and your mechanic about you weren't feeling great on the track, but did you realize that everybody's having problems on this track? It seems kind of hard for the 125.
Yeah, you know, nobody really knows, but I've been sick all week. I hurt my stomach. I'm getting stomach problems. Just hurt my ribs now, so you know, I'm gonna just go back and rest up.